All right, let's continue. We have so much to discuss and so much to cover. There is very, very notable breaking news that there are cabinet members actually discussing invoking the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump from office. Now, the fact that they're considering it is the story. I don't believe it will happen. I think ultimately it's going to be a lot of, well, if I supported it, would you supported it? If the two of us did, what about you? Would Pence go for it? But the 25th Amendment, I don't believe ultimately will be invoked, but it is being discussed. CNN reporting that there are cabinet members holding preliminary discussions about invoking the 25th Amendment to force Donald Trump to leave office early. And it is unclear whether there will be enough cabinet members in favor to result in Donald Trump's removal. But this has now been widely reported by CNN, The Hill, and numerous other outlets. It is abundantly clear that the conversation is happening in light of the violent riots that were fomented yesterday by Donald Trump. House Judiciary Democrats have also written a letter to Mike Pence asking him to invoke the 25th Amendment, although I don't believe there's if it happens or if it's being seriously considered, it's not because Democrats are asking for it. But Congressman David Cicilline did write a letter in which he says, "Dear Vice President Pence, it is with great sadness that we write to you following the incidents that unfolded," where he goes on to say Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to the Constitution provides the vice president and majority of sitting cabinet secretaries with the authority to determine a president as unfit if they are unable to discharge the powers and duties of the office. Going on to say, for the sake of democracy, we emphatically urge you to invoke the 25th Amendment and begin the process of removing President Trump from power. Obviously, Donald Trump should be removed from power. Obviously, Donald Trump should have already been impeached. The Georgia phone call was an impeachable offense. There have been other impeachable offenses. We could go back to talk about Saudi Arabia and Yemen. I mean, we're going back quite a way when we are now just 13 days from the end one way or another. I don't believe that this will happen. And I think it's also important to say one other thing about this. We'll be talking a little bit later about Republicans now who are bailing on Donald Trump. They're done in 13 days. The idea that now they are being brave and defiant and moral and upstanding. Guys, there's 13 days left. If you want to point to anyone, I mean, listen, John McCain from the beginning I'm not a big McCain guy, but from the beginning, McCain said what he believed. He didn't wait until there was no political risk. Mitt Romney, his opposition to Trump is quite milquetoast, but it's been consistent after he had that weird frog leg lunch with Trump where it seemed like maybe he could be Trump's Secretary of State. But it's been years that at least Mitt Romney has been consistent, and it's not like a big deal. He's mildly critical of Donald Trump in most cases with a few more serious critiques. But he was exposed to the downsides of doing it for years. These people now who in the middle of the night last night, when everybody had already mostly tuned out, came and said, listen, our role here is just to count. And that's what we have to do. There's nothing else we can do. Or some of the resignations that are taking place now, including like from Mick Mulvaney, who even remembered that Mulvaney was still even working for the Trump White House. It's too little too late. And we can't now put them back on the good boys list as a result of them doing this. That's very important to keep in mind. Again, the big story is the mere fact that the use of the 25th Amendment is being considered is absolutely insane. It should be used. There are mental health professionals like Dr. Bandy Lee, who we've interviewed, who are now asking for a 72-hour psych hold for Donald Trump. Most of this stuff is merely symbolic, but the fact that it's taking place really confirms the dystopian reality in which we are living. And then also importantly, and we'll talk about this next, Donald Trump has agreed to leave office. And I know it sounds like, wait, how is that news? But given the circumstances, it is.